Hello guys, welcome once again to this channel, Ahmed and Maseno. Today we are going to talk about the cat with 9 lives, and that is none other than the Deputy President, Rigathi Gachagua. The vengeful Kikuyu Member of Parliament, Kimani Ichung'wah, has victoriously succeeded in buying and whipping the lower house of Parliament with express support of the President and the opposition leader Raila Odinga to pass the impeachment motion against the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. Although they have passed the motion against the DP, the Deputy President might not go home as per their plans. He still has 3 olive branches to hang on. And today we are going to discuss the 3 olive branches that the Deputy President will still hang on. Number 1 is the upper house of Parliament, the Senate. It seems the Senate itself is becoming too rogue against the President and Raila Odinga. This even led to the Kitui Senator Enoch Wambua and procedurally heckled the Speaker, who is believed to be on Ruto Raila side, just like his lower house counterpart Moses Wetangula and his assistant or deputy speaker Gladys Boss Soleil.
No, it's me to conclude, Senator Wambua. Now this is my direction, and it's very much what I've already directed. Honorable Wambua, which floor I have taken away from you? You can't do that. So, Senator Wambua, you're out of order and leave the chamber now for the rest of the day. Leave the chamber. We need to be orderly in this matter. We're going to handle a very heavy matter. We cannot have any senator heckling the Speaker. As we go to this impeachment, you need to behave, Senator Wambua. Leave the chamber now for the rest of the sitting. Leave the chamber. Leave the chamber. Leave the chamber, Senator Wambua.
The Senate, unlike the lower house, are gearing to look critically into the charges brought against the DP and compare it with the provisions of the law. According to Busia Senator Okia Omtata, he terms the impeachment of the Deputy President as arrant nonsense. And that is a very big, conclusive statement for a member of the Senate.
The impeachment motion, I think, is arrant nonsense, and I think that we'll wait to see what evidence is tabled, and then a personal vote according to the evidence and the law. But as regards the issue of impeaching the Kenyan government, my position has always been that impeach Ruto and get Gachagua'S for free. The two people waende pamoja. Mimi wengine nasema kufa ndere, kufa makanga, si ndio? So we want to impeach Ruto and then we get nani for free. Gachagua'S of course comes as a package, as an addition to that. So the point of impeaching Gachagua'S and leaving Ruto to me makes no sense. When the government can't govern, they should go. But it's a diversional tactic that is going to buy them some time by focusing the nation on the wrong issues. Thank you.
According to him, he is not in support of the Deputy President not being impeached, but is saying that the President is the one who should be impeached first, and Rigathi would be a bonus to go with him. The Senate is divided because Kenyans are saying that there are more important things to be done than to sit in the House to discuss a Deputy President. And the Senate are listening keenly to the voice of Kenyans. That's exactly why Nairobi Senator, who is also the Secretary General of ODM, rejected and declined to second a motion to constitute a committee of 11 senators, preferring the case to be heard by the whole House, or as referred as the plenary sitting. And this is a very big win for the Deputy President, because the 11 was to be unpicked by both Ruto and Raila, and they would pass the impeachment without problems. This is as per Article 145 3B of the Constitution, as read together with Article 78 1. It states simply that the House can resolve to constitute 11-member committee.
With those very many remarks, I want to invite the Senator for Nairobi, Senator Edwin Watenya Sifuna, to second this motion.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. As you have indicated in your communication, indeed this is a matter that is extremely unique, that has elicited immense public attention, and therefore, Honorable Speaker, given the mood of the House and especially on the minority side, I respectfully decline to second that motion.
The Senate Majority Leader, an ally of the President, had tried to move that motion to institute the 11 members, which would see Ruto and Raila handpick loyal senators to send the Deputy President home. But Standing Order number 70, in simple terms, states that no motion will see the light of the day inside Parliament without being seconded. And when the Nairobi Senator declined to second the motion by the Majority Leader, he thwarted Ruto and Raila's aim of handpicking 11 senators to send Rigathi home. That means Standing Order number 71 states that the motion is to be withdrawn if it doesn't have a seconder, making way for the Deputy President to face the whole House. Senators Enoch Wambua of Kitui, Samson Cherargei of Nandi, and Senator Methu of Nyandarua asked for more time to deliberate on the Deputy President's charges. They simply asked the Speaker not to rush the motion as the lower house did. They asked for an ample time before and ample time during the sitting.
I will hasten to add that listening to the public wherever I go, and I don't go to a lot of places, Mr. Speaker, the whole world, the whole country is looking up to the Senate for justice to be seen to be done. In fact, there wasn't so much attention on the proceedings in the National Assembly. A lot of people saying, let's wait for this matter to go to the Senate. Mr. Speaker, this is a time that then the Senate of the Republic of Kenya must demonstrate real leadership. And the prayers that were being made by Senator Cherargei and Senator Methu sit very well. That, Mr. Speaker, the assurance you have given that both parties will have sufficient time to prosecute their cases and to do what they have to do. Mr. Speaker, let that assurance also go out that the judges sitting on this matter will also have sufficient time to reason, to caucus. Mr. Speaker, and when there is need for even members to take time off, 30, 40 minutes, to caucus and steer this thing properly. So, Mr. Speaker, we don't have, I would really hate to see a situation where we end up the way we did with the Kawira case, the Governor Kawira case, where the last minute...
What does that mean? They want to look at the charges one by one and compare it with the provisions of the law. They don't want to go the same way that they upheld the impeachment of Meru governor, and the court found loopholes in it. And up till now, the impeached Meru governor is still in office, thanks to law courts. The senators are talking also about the concern of the people. Unlike the lower house, who neglected the voice of the people, the senators are saying that they must listen to the voice of the people. They must consider what the people are talking about. They are talking about a government which is led by a president who has not listened to the people. In other words, the Senate are gearing to look deeply into the charges and the allegations. And that is why Rigathi Gachagua has that advantage on his side. The second olive branch is the legal fraternity. The legal fraternity are saying that it is not the deputy president who is at trial here. They are saying it is the constitution of Kenya which is at trial. Why? Because the president has numbers. He can use that numbers to remove the deputy president from office against the constitution. That beats the requirements of the security of tenure in the constitution. So, if in the scenario where the Senate passes or upholds the impeachment from the lower house, then the legal fraternity will have to determine that this is not firing but impeachment according to the law. That the president is not using the large numbers he has to break or to go against the constitution and fire a deputy president.
That, remember, you must come up with charges that clearly demonstrate there is a violation of the constitution or the law or misconduct. Now, we shall say something about the charges on what the lawyer people are calling threshold, whether the accusations against the deputy president
hold water.
Actually hold water. That's a separate argument. But up to where we are, I would say as a constitutional lawyer, the issue of Deputy President Gachagua, strictly speaking to many Kenyans, is an issue of infighting in a tyrant's party, that is UDA. And if they want to devour themselves, very many Kenyans would not have any, would not shed tears for that. But having said that, there are two things that are important to me from the outset. Number one, what is on trial here? What is on trial on the face of it appear to wear the face of Deputy President Gachagua? But I think it is the Constitution of Kenya that is on trial. On trial in the sense that if, for example, you end up impeaching the Deputy President simply because the President who is clearly behind this motion can be able to get 2/3 in the National Assembly and 2/3 in the Senate, it would be the biggest letdown for our constitutions, because it would effectively mean that the president can sack the deputy president. When we said that elect the president together with the president, what the founders of the makers of the constitution wanted to avoid is a situations whereby the person who can assume the presidency and with the nod of the people can just be sacked without justification. So that would have been a serious failure for our constitution. Issue number two, in my view, is the integrity of the institutions that were designed to protect the constitutions. We have already had the National Assembly. Clearly, the Speaker and his deputy were supposed to be impartial. We all know they were not. At the National Assembly, you expected that at the very minimum, the MPs, particularly those who support the motion, would tell us why. But they were voting and they were told. I listened to the entire motion. They were told, come and say your name and say whether you support. And of course the question, and that is why like in most of central Kenya, people have a problem processing it, is for this reason. On what basis for those charges did you say you support? They were not even allowed to say, I support for these reasons. I have followed impeachment proceedings in other countries. And you would say like nearly everybody else is actually standing up and justifying why. Issue number two is at the Senate.
Okay.
At the Senate, the issue of this, that has not taken place. At the Senate, you know, when you have charges, unlike the National Assembly, greater responsibility will be expected of senators. As in if you say, I stole, okay? And the land, like it turned out according to the deputy president, is land that I bought, would you expect the senators to say on what grounds did the deputy president steal a land that he appears to have bought? So it is a big test for the Senate. Finally, the courts. The courts at the end of it all would have to decide the big issue. When the Constitution was made, and with the provisions for impeachment. Did the makers of the Constitution intend that it is a purely political process in which you just need numbers and nothing else to get you?
If the president is using his large numbers in parliament to impeach the deputy president, then it is not an impeachment. It is firing in another way. So it is only the legal fraternity, the courts, that will determine whether the deputy president is really guilty of the charges. For example, in the courts, it is not what we saw in parliament. There they will look at evidence. They will cross-examine the witnesses. Then the third olive branch for the deputy president is the people. The people of Kenya are not saying that the deputy president is not guilty. The people of Kenya doesn't care about the deputy president. The people of Kenya cares about the president himself. The buck stops with the president. The deputy president is just a shadow in the executive. The only office that has nothing to do apart from the work of advising the president. So impeaching him and leaving the president and leaving the entire executive and leaving parliament is doing nothing. They are asking questions that if Gachagua is dirty, is the president clean? That is the question. And that's the question that nobody from parliament wants to answer. And is the parliament that is impeaching the deputy president itself clean? The architect of this motion is one Kimani Ichung'wah, the MP Kikuyu, who is said that his brother-in-law has been appointed as the ambassador South Africa. His sister-in-law is a principal secretary. His sister is a nominated MCA. The seat he is occupying in parliament as a majority leader is given to him because of the vote the Mount Kenya gave. So, is he himself clean of corruption? Those are the questions that people are asking. Many people are protesting about the MP seeing Rigathi Gachagua'S impeachment as the most important thing in our country today. But there are very many things that are going wrong in our country, but they are not seeing. Please listen to this tape.
Kwa majina naitwa Dennis Wanjala kutoka Embakasi East kule Soweto. Mimi kitu ambayo nataka kusema ni hii. Wakati rais na naibu wake wako na shida, watatuletea hii shida yao. Lakini saa hivi tunaongea na nyinyi, Adani imechukua airport. Vile tunaongea na nyinyi, NHIF watu wanaenda hospitali wanashindwa kutibiwa. Lakini kitu nataka kusema, I have never seen stupid MPs who can go to the parliament at MP.
Order.
The people are saying that the institutions that have let them down are the executive, headed by the president, and parliament, headed by the speaker, and the majority and minority leadership. Leadership is about listening to the people. And if you can't listen to the people, you must go home. Listen to what former governor Charity Kaloki Ngilu is saying.
Leadership must listen to the needs and aspirations of the people. Yeah. And for sure, if you don't listen, you will go home. Right. And this is what we are witnessing here. Yes. Watu walioana wawili tukiwaona na hata ndoa haijaendelea miaka miwili. Mmoja analala kitanda upande huu, mwingine upande huu. Na hii tulikuwa tunasema hii ni ndoa ya uongo hii. Na sasa anaenda kutafuta yule hakuwa naye amsaidie. Nafikiri wa Kenya ni lazima sasa tuanze kuangalia na tuanguke na hii kitu hii.
Tuanguke nayo. Hiyo ndio anasema. Tuanguke nayo. Ground is hostile for Ruto everywhere. Not in Nyanza, not in the coast, not in the mountain, not in Ukambani, not even in the Rift Valley. Very many people thought that when the lower house of parliament passed his impeachment, it was a done deal. No, guys, he still have 3 steps to go. We are going to try the Senate, and we hope they are not going to let us down. But if they do, we have courts, High Court, Supreme Court. Those are 2 steps in one. Anyway, guys, thank you for listening to me. Please, if you have not subscribed, please hit that subscription button, share, like, and comment, and let us meet in the next article. Thank you.